Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Ness, and welcome to my channel, HoodCutt Tutorialz, where I'll go over my many methods of hair cutting, whether it's shaping up someone, whether it's a cut or enhancements, or even something as simple as finding the right clippers to start out to cut hair. And I created this channel so that the common man and woman, father or mother, can maintain their own child's head without having to break their pockets to go to a barbershop when sometimes they can't afford it. We just came through a pandemic, so you never know when something like that happen, and these skills are useful for everyday use. Even for the up-and-coming barber who just want to learn some tips here and there, I'm glad to help you guys out. This first video is based around the shape up, and I'll go over my little details for a basic shape up, and I hope you like it. I hope you appreciate it, and there's way more to come. Thank you. Alright, check it out. Before I start any shape up, I make sure I get my hair down to the level that I want it, and I make sure the hair is kind of all the same level. In this case, my grandpa wanted a 1.5, so I gave him a 1.5 against the grain. He got a little bit of recession in the front, so, and he has it in the middle of his head like the back. So what I'm gonna have to do is blend this in, because he also likes to dye. So what I'm doing now to start out the shape up is I'm gonna spritz his hairline and brush simultaneously to make sure that the hair stays in place for the shape up. What spritz does is is a hair holding product. So what it's gonna do when it dries is hold the hair in place from my brushing. So that's typically why you feel a barber brushing your hair at these spritz, and you feel a little sticky and whatever, but that's all because he's getting the hair to stay in place when he cut it for a clean cut. After I get the hair spritzed down along the line and brushed down, you can either use the blow dryer to dry it up while you brushing, or just let it air dry while you brush. And then once you get that, you're ready for the shape up. So what I do here is I use my soft trimmers to pretty much give me a guideline of where I want the line to be, so I could get like sort of a picture of what I'm going to do to the head. So this is not for it to be sharp. I just want to give myself a guideline, since I'm going to be applying dye. Once I get my guideline, you'll see that I'll go and apply the dye to his hair, which I'm not going to show in this video. That's a different video. But I switch over to my T outliners, which are sharper clippers for a cleaner cut. I typically start at the temples, so where that 90-degree angle is, I normally go there to sort of set up the rest of the head. And sometimes I'll stop and go to the other side and do the same thing, but when I'm used to the head, I just go along, because I know my grandpa's head. So once I get the right angle there, I just go along his forehead to the other side, because I know what I'm going to do over there already. Now we at sideburns. Some people like points, which is kind of like passe. Nobody really do it no more, but nonetheless, some people do get it. My grandpa normally likes the points, but what I give him here are squares, because I like the squares on his head better. So you'll see me start at the cheekbone, right there adjacent to the ear. Start right there to give myself a guideline of where I'm going to end with the sideburns. Then I typically go into the C cup, so you'll see me right here go into the C cup and clean everything up. Of course, I'm still brushing. I would like to brush in cut, but I got the phone in one hand so y'all could get a clean account of what I'm trying to do. So yeah, the spritz and all of that helps to keep the hair steady. Without the spritz, you'll be chasing the hair, and sometimes that could lead you to pushing people's hairlines back. You don't want to do that. So use your spritz, brush, keep your brush in hand so you can get all those stray hairs and cut every little hair along the C cup, along a 90-degree angle, along the forehead for a clean cut. I don't show it here, but I also do the back of the ear into the neck area, which I faded, and you know that's pretty easy, cut and dry. Just make sure you you watch the ear, because they tend to cut easily. You don't want a situation where you making someone bleed incidentally. You know it happens. You just make sure you got your alcohol on hand, you got your paper towels, and you got your petroleum jelly, so that way you can stop the bleeding right away. Alright, so like I was saying before, I went over my grandpa's head with the soft trimmers and then the T outliners to give me pretty much of a defined line. And the reason I went over it more so with the T outliners before I put the dye on there was because I wanted to make sure I gave myself a defined line, as a defined line as I could get before I put the dye in his hair, because I want to make sure it all still come out clean. So what you see me do now, after I had already applied the dye, which I said I wasn't going to do, but I'm going to give you a little snippet of it right now. So what you just saw was me apply dye to the middle of his head where the main recession is coming from, and I blended it in with the rest of his hair. I also used spray dye to fill in the receding parts in the front of his head and along his side, his hairline. Also to make the line sharp, but also mainly to fill in those light spots that was at the front of his line. Alright, so what you see me doing now is brushing my grandpa's hair after I got the dye in there pretty good. I used the spray dye for the hairline to get that defined as I could get. And now what I'm going to do now is go over with my T outliners again to make sure the line is clean, all the stray hairs are evaporated, and he's going to leave the chair sharp as ever. So just same as what I was doing earlier with the C cup and making sure it was sharp and everything like that. Making sure he's clean and he's sharp, and making sure that his squares are pretty tight. Same thing on the other side. Make sure he's clean. This requires you to have a little bit of an eye, because without it you won't really see what you need to do. But once you get the hang of it and you visualize what you want to do, you'll pretty much get the hang of it, and you'll be rolling. Yep, so get all those stray hairs and let him leave the chair sharp, and that's pretty much it. Once you've done this, you're good. And there you go. Shape up is done. Make sure you keep you spray the alcohol on a line. Make sure you keep everything sanitized and clean. That's the most important thing, to protect them and to protect your clippers. So, keep everything sanitized, and and make sure they fresh, you know what I mean? And give it one more look. Make sure everything tight, and you good. Hey, I hope you liked the video. I threw a little extra in there with the dye and the enhancements, so that's another video that hopefully you guys will come back around and check out. Other than that, come back, like, comment, and subscribe.
hit the notification bell so that way you can get all my latest uploads. Thank you, and remember, out of many, we are one. Stay blessed.